My boyfriend said he needed space to think about us, so I gave him time. Then I saw him kissing my best friend on her Instagram story. When she finally called me back, she said, "It just happened. You two were basically over anyway." I just smiled through the tears and 2 weeks later, he started planning my revenge. This happened earlier this year, and it still feels like my chest gets crushed every time I think about it. I'm not posting this looking for sympathy. I don't need advice. I'm just telling it straight because I've kept it in too long, and honestly, I want people to know how dirty some folks can be, especially the ones closest to you. I'm 34. Live in Sarasota, Florida. I work in a dental lab, nothing glamorous. I don't have a huge friend circle. I've been burned enough to know better. I kept it small. Tight. My circle was basically 3 people. My boyfriend, Derek, and my best friend of over a decade, Zoe. Derek and I were together just under 2 years. We weren't perfect, but I believed in what we had. I honestly thought we were building something real. We talked about moving in together. He kept saying, "After things settle at work." I didn't rush it. I thought giving him time was the right thing to do. Stupid. The first signs were subtle. That's how it always starts. He used to text me every morning before work. Nothing deep, just "morning baby" or some dumb meme he thought was funny. Then those stopped. I asked once, like, "Everything okay?" He said, "Yeah, just been tired." I let it go. Next came the phone stuff. He used to leave it on the table, screen up. Never cared. Then one day, he's watching TV, phone buzzes, and he grabs it like it's going to explode. Turns the screen away. Laughs and says it's just some stupid group chat. I'm not dumb, I noticed. Then came the sex part, or the lack of it. He'd pull away when I tried to kiss him, said he had a headache or a long day. Or was just off. This man used to be all over me. Suddenly he acts like I'm touching him with cold fish hands. I felt disgusting. Like I was just annoying him by existing. I remember sitting in my car one night outside Publix, holding my steering wheel and trying not to cry because I knew something was happening. I just didn't want to say it out loud. Then he dropped the bomb. We were on my porch. He was quiet all night, kind of pacing. I asked what was going on. He looked me dead in the eye and said, "I think I need space." I didn't get it. "Space from what?" "From us," he said. "I just need time to think. I feel like I've been in this fog, like I can't figure out what I want." He said it like it was reasonable, like he was being mature by communicating. I didn't yell, I didn't accuse him of anything. I just nodded, told him I'd give him space. He packed a bag that night and said he'd be staying with his cousin for a while. The minute he pulled out of the driveway, I locked myself in the bathroom and cried so hard I couldn't breathe. I didn't call, didn't text. I respected what he said. I kept telling myself maybe he really just needed time. Maybe I was being paranoid. I clung to anything that didn't make me feel like I was being dumped without the decency of honesty. I leaned on Zoe a lot during those 2 weeks. She brought wine over, made me dinner, sat on my couch like she always did and said things like, "He'll come around. He just needs to figure his own stuff out." I told her how confused I was, how scared, how much I missed him. She said, "If it's meant to be, it'll work out." I believed her, because she was my best friend, because we've been through hell and back, because she knew everything about me and I thought she gave a damn. Then came the gut punch. It was a Sunday. I was scrolling through Instagram half awake, still in bed. Zoe had posted a story. I almost didn't watch it, just something dumb with palm trees. Then I tapped again. Next one was her at a beach resort. Pool in the background. I paused, thought maybe it was a throwback, then I saw him, Derek in the corner of the frame, shirtless, sitting next to her. I sat up. I watched it again. My chest started to cave in. I tapped forward. Another clip. Them walking down the beach. Holding hands. Another clip. Them in the pool. She turns the camera just enough to show him kissing her neck. I felt like I was going to throw up. I watched the whole story at least 5 times, just frozen. Shaking, I couldn't process it, couldn't even form a thought, just stared. Then I started calling. Her first. No answer, again, nothing. Texted her. "Is this a joke?" No reply. I tried Derek, straight to voicemail. I spent that whole day in a haze, sitting on my bathroom floor, staring at the wall. I didn't eat, didn't drink, just kept refreshing my phone like an idiot. 3 days later, she finally called. I picked up and didn't say a word. She goes, "Hey," that's all. "Just hey," I said, "so you're really gonna pretend this is normal?" She didn't say anything for a few seconds. Then she sighs and goes, "It wasn't planned." I laughed. Not a happy laugh. One of those bitter, broken laughs. "You accidentally fell on his dick at a beach resort?" Silence. Then she goes, "We didn't mean for it to happen, but you and him were basically done anyway." That's when I stopped shaking. That was the exact second something in me switched off. I said, "Got it," and hung up. She tried texting me. I didn't open it. Didn't need to. I sat in my living room the whole night. Didn't cry, didn't scream, I just sat there. Then I started thinking, I wasn't gonna beg. I wasn't gonna fight. I was gonna ruin them, not physically. Not something stupid that gets me arrested, but emotionally, socially, quietly. They thought they could play in the dirt and walk away clean. I was gonna make sure they both learned what betrayal really felt like. And the best part, they wouldn't see it coming. A week passed. Nothing from Derek, not a text, not a call, radio silence. But Zoe, she kept trying. She sent me this long-ass message about how she never meant to hurt me. Said Derek and her just connected when they were both confused about life. Said it just happened. That they didn't plan it. That they weren't sure how to tell me. I didn't reply. I just let her spin her wheels. What she didn't know was that I already had the screenshots saved. The stories she deleted. The texts I had sent her back when I was pouring my heart out, while she was already messing around with the same man I was crying over. And she had no idea what I was about to do with all of it. But before I made any moves, I needed to see something. I needed to see if Derek was really in this thing with her, or if he'd try to crawl back to me once the high wore off. It didn't take long. 2 weeks after their little beach trip, I get a text. "Derek, hey, can we talk?" I stared at it for maybe 5 minutes. Then I replied me, "Sure, tomorrow, 6. I didn't sleep that night. I wasn't nervous. I wasn't excited. I was locked in, cold. I wasn't the same person he walked out on. I wore the same hoodie I wore the night he left. Hair tied back, no makeup. I wanted to look real, familiar. Not for him, but so he could see exactly what he threw away, and I could watch it hit him. He walked in like a dog that got hit too many times and still comes wagging its tail. Didn't even look me in the eyes at first. He sat on the couch. I didn't offer him a drink. I didn't ask how he was. He goes, "I've been thinking about everything." I stayed quiet. "I know I messed up," he says. "I was confused. I didn't mean to hurt you. It all got blurry." Still quiet. "She's not you." There it was, like that line was supposed to mean anything. Then he said it. "I made a mistake. Please forgive me." I looked him dead in the eye and said, "Did you love her?" He looked down. Didn't answer. "You fucked my best friend and didn't even have the balls to own it," I said. He opened his mouth, trying to say something. I held up my hand. "I'm not here to scream. I just wanted to see your face when you realized you lost the best thing you ever had." He started crying. No joke. Real tears. I stood up, walked to the door, opened it, and said, "Leave," he begged. "Please, Tanya. Just give me one chance to explain." I didn't flinch. "You already did, 2 weeks ago, in Clearwater." That's when he realized I saw it, all of it. He walked out without another word. And that should have been the end. But then something strange happened. A few days later, I get a DM from a girl I don't know. Username was something basic, like Ashley1234. She says, "Hey, I'm sorry to bother you, but are you the girl who used to date Derek? I think I should tell you something." My stomach flipped. I replied me, "Yeah, why, Ashley? I was seeing him too, a while back, before you guys broke up. Thought you should know." She sent screenshots, texts between her and Derek. Dates overlapped with my relationship. He told her he was stuck in something toxic and trying to leave me. Called me emotionally unstable. Said I was crazy when angry. I asked her straight up, "Why now?" She said, "Because I found out about Zoe. And I saw what he said about me to her too. I'm done covering for him." So this wasn't just betrayal. This was a F***seeking pattern. He'd been cheating on me before Zoe, probably during, probably even after. And he lied to every single one of us to keep the image going. He made each of us feel like we were the one. I told Ashley, "Thanks for telling me." But in my head, I wasn't just thinking about Derek anymore. I started thinking about Zoe again, and something wasn't adding up. That's when I dug into her Instagram again, went through her tagged photos, all the way back 6, 7 months. I found one. Her, sitting at a restaurant downtown. Nothing special, but in the background, Derek. Clear as day. Same hoodie he wore to my house that night in January. and she'd posted it months before he told me he needed space. I called up one of my coworkers, Jenna. She's quiet, but she's got eyes like a hawk and loves gossip more than coffee. I asked her if she remembered Zoe ever coming by the lab. She said yeah, twice. Once when you left your lunch at home, and another time she dropped off your jacket. I asked when that was. She said, sometime in March, maybe. That was 2 weeks before he bylaid on me. She was coming into my job, dropping off things like she was doing me favors, while probably texting Derek in my parking lot. My hands were shaking so bad I could barely type. They were planning it, maybe not from day one, but they were building it, sneaking, testing the waters, seeing how far they could go before I caught on, and I bet they laughed behind my back. I bet they looked at me crying and thought, she'll get over it. So I started working. Not yelling, not throwing hands, working. So now I knew the truth. Derek didn't just cheat on me with Zoe. He cheated on both of us before that, with some girl named Ashley, and probably others too. Zoe wasn't some tragic, it just happened mistake. She was next in a long line of women he lied to. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized how deep it went. There were nights he'd come home late, claiming he was working overtime. Days he said he was helping his cousin move. Weekends he'd say he was too tired to drive over, but now I'm thinking he was probably in someone else's bed while I sat at home watching shows we were supposed to finish together. It wasn't a slip-up. It was who he was. But here's the twist you weren't expecting. Zoe wasn't innocent either. And I don't mean just with Derek. I mean she's been that snake in my life for years and I never saw it. After I found out about her hanging out with him way before our breakup, I started questioning everything. So I did something I should have done a long time ago. I went through my old messages, texts, DMs, group chats, all of it. And it hit me like a truck. Every time I had an issue with Derek, Zoe was there to make it worse. In small ways, subtle comments. Things that didn't click back then, but looking at them now, clear as day. I remember once, I told her Derek forgot my birthday plans. We were supposed to go to a nice dinner and he bylaid last minute. I was pissed. I texted her crying about it. You know what she said. Maybe don't make such a big deal, guys mess up sometimes, you can be kinda dramatic. Not, that sucks. Not, I'm here for you. Just gaslighting wrapped up as tough love. Another time I was nervous about a job interview. She told me I was overthinking like always and should just chill. She always said stuff like that, framed it like she was just being real with me, but it wasn't support, it was control. She kept me small. Derek wasn't the only one chipping away at me. She was doing it too, for years. So this wasn't just about a cheating boyfriend. This was about the two people I trusted most turning me into a F***-seeking joke behind my back. And I decided they weren't just going to lose me, they were going to lose each other. Part 4, she lied to me, so I gave her someone else's truth. I started with Zoe. She was always chasing some new hustle. She wanted to be a boss babe type, but had zero follow-through. Her latest thing was doing freelance social media for small businesses. She bragged about being the brand voice for a boutique hotel in town. Fancy little spot near Lido Key. She loved that job, bragged about the comp drinks, the beach views, the networking. She posted every time she was on site, trying to look important, so I made a fake account. Took me a day. I created a burner IG. Used some random girl's travel photos from Pinterest. Made a fake Gmail. Called myself Mia. Said I was a wedding planner from Fort Myers with a decent client list. I followed the hotel's page and liked all their recent posts. Then I DM'd them. Hi there. I just wanted to let you know I saw one of your staff members, I think her name is Zoe, in the pool with a man during work hours. They were being very affectionate. Just thought you should know, this was in front of a lot of guests. I added, I'd hate to refer my clients to a place with that kind of employee behavior. I attached a screenshot of her Instagram story. The one with Derek kissing her neck in the pool. Her caption was soft life. They didn't respond to Mia, but Zoe posted a weird, passive-aggressive story the next day. When people try to sabotage you, but God sees everything. That confirmed it. She got a warning or worse. Then came the real fun. I knew Derek was dumb enough to go along with her while she burned bridges, but I also knew he had no idea how fast she was unraveling things behind the scenes. So I made sure he found out. Remember Ashley, the other girl he cheated with? I sent her Zoe's Instagram. She lost it. Turns out, Derek told her Zoe was his cousin's girlfriend and that I was a clingy ex who wouldn't leave him alone. So I gave Ashley a number. Zoe's work number. I told her she deserves to know the truth too. Ashley called her. I don't know what was said exactly, but Zoe blocked me that same night. Then Ashley texts me. She said she knew what kind of man he was but was too deep in it. She hung up on me. So they were turning on each other now, exactly what I wanted. But I didn't stop there. There was one more twist I'd been saving. One more grenade I hadn't pulled the pin on yet. Derek's job. He worked at a local mechanic shop. It was run by this old-school guy named Rick. Real no-bullshit kind of man. He gave Derek a job when he got out of that DUI mess 2 years ago. Treated him like family. Thing is, Rick hates drama, hates people who bring mess into his shop. So I sent an anonymous letter. Printed, mailed, no fingerprints. Inside was a screenshot of Zoe's story, the one at the resort, her and Derek kissing in the pool, date stamped. I wrote this, just thought you should know your employee was lying about needing time off for a family emergency. Hope this helps. 3 days later, Zoe posted another cryptic message. People will switch up on you for clout. Then Derek texted me, after weeks of nothing. Derek, I don't know what you're trying to do, but whatever it is, it's not gonna change anything. I replied, oh, sweetie. I haven't even started. He didn't respond, but I knew he was spiraling. When Derek texted me saying I hadn't even started, he was half right. I had started, but the real damage was still loading. 2 days after his message, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I almost didn't answer. Something told me to pick up. It was Rick, his boss. He didn't introduce himself. Just said, is this Tanya? I said yes. He paused, then said, I'm not calling to cause trouble. I just need to ask you something and I want an honest answer. My heart was pounding. Was Derek seeing someone else while he was with you? I didn't hesitate. Yes. Another pause. And was one of them a woman named Zoe? Yes. He exhaled hard. I could hear it. He told me you were unstable, Rick said. Said you were making things up. I laughed. I couldn't help it. It came out sharp and bitter. Ask him about Ashley, I said. Ask him about Clearwater. Ask him why he suddenly needed space. Rick didn't say much after that, just said, all right, and hung up. That same night, Derek called me, not texted, called, I let it ring. Then I answered. He was breathing hard like he'd been running or yelling. What the hell did you tell Rick? He snapped. I kept my voice calm. The truth. You're trying to ruin my life, he said. I said, no. I'm letting you live the one you built. He lost it, started yelling, calling me bitter. Crazy, said Zoe warned him I'd do this, said I was obsessed, that I couldn't let go. I waited for him to finish. Then I said, you lost your job today, didn't you? Silence. That's how I knew. You don't get to rewrite the story anymore, I said. People see you now. He hung up. An hour later, Zoe unblocked me. She sent one message. Zoe. You happy now? I stared at it for a long time. Then I replied me, you did this, I just stopped protecting you. She didn't respond. Part 7, the collapse. Things unraveled fast after that. Derek losing his job was just the start. Word travels quick in a small town, especially when you burn bridges with people who gave you second chances. Rick talked, not loudly, not cruelly, just honestly. Derek started posting weird stuff online, quotes about betrayal, about fake love, about being misunderstood. Zoe, on the other hand, went quiet. No stories, no beach pics, no boss girl captions. I found out through Jenna at work that Zoe had been fired completely. Not just warned, fired. Turns out the hotel already had issues with her. Missed deadlines, sloppy work, attitude problems. My message just gave them the excuse they needed. And Derek? Ashley messaged me again. She said Derek showed up drunk at her place one night, crying, saying everyone turned on him. Saying Zoe was pressuring him. Saying he ruined everything. Ashley kicked him out. Then Zoe kicked him out. He had nowhere to go. That's when karma did something I didn't plan, something I couldn't control. He tried to crawl back to me. Again, he showed up at my house one night. No warning, just standing there, eyes red, face wrecked. I didn't invite him in. He said, I lost everything. I said, no, you gave it away. He begged, again, said he'd get help. Said he finally saw what he did. Said Zoe ruined him. I laughed. You were broken before her, I said. She just matched you. He dropped to his knees. I wish I was exaggerating. I'll do anything, he said. Please, That's when I felt it, not power, not victory, just emptiness. I told him, get up. He stood, and I said the last thing he ever expected. You're not my problem anymore. Then I closed the door. Part 8, the part no one warns you about. Here's the part people don't talk about. Revenge doesn't make you clean. It makes you aware. After everything settled, after the dust cleared, after they both fell apart, I was left alone with myself. And I had to face something ugly. I stayed too long. I ignored signs. I let Zoe talk down to me for years. I let Derek make me feel small before he ever cheated. I didn't deserve what they did. But I did abandon myself way before they ever did. That hit harder than anything else. I went to therapy, real therapy, not Instagram quotes, not wine nights. I cut people off, quietly. No speeches, I deleted photos. Threw things away, changed routines. Zoe tried to reach out months later, sent a long apology, said she was in a dark place, said she lost everything, said she missed me. I didn't reply. Derek moved out of town. I heard he's couch surfing, still blaming everyone else. Ashley blocked him. Rick won't take him back. And me, I'm still here, same city, same job, but not the same person. I don't chase closure anymore. I don't explain myself. I don't keep people who hurt me just because they've been around a long time. They lost each other. They lost their stability. They lost their image. I lost my innocence. And somehow that was the price. Not a happy ending, not a clean one. Just a real one. And honestly, I can live with that.